and it certainly struck a chord with him, former Walsall West Ham keeper. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, gents, how we doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. You probably know Perry anyway from the football scene, don't you? I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know Perry too well, to be fair, but just listening to him was heartbreaking and really resonated with what we're trying to do with the foundation, to be fair.
Yeah, tell us more about that, because I didn't know a great deal about it, but tell us about the work that you're doing.
Well, it's like you said just before there. People don't realise. I've got so many former teammates and lads I've played against, and that's just the lads I know have spoke about it. People don't realise they're having a tough time, and there's some of them having a real tough time. Whether that's with their mental health or their physical health, battling addictions like Perry spoke about. There's so much of it about, and it does get hidden, and is not quite. You can never have enough help, but don't feel that there's enough help for former players to reach out to. I don't think there's enough help for younger players in the first place when they come out of the game, but for older players as well, like myself and a lot of my former teammates, they're really struggling when they come out of the game. And I've been wanting to do it for a little while. I've talked about it for 2 or 3 years, and I've always said there's not enough help. There's nowhere really to turn to. I've been through a few different things myself, and there's not really anywhere you can turn to. So we just wanted to sort of bridge the gap between, just get the lads talking, and maybe I want to try and create, not maybe, but I do want to try and create a network of former players who's had some troubles in the past and been through things. They've played the game, they've come out of the game, they don't know quite what to do, where to turn. They may be battling, them addictions themselves, or they've been through it themselves, and just get them talking and create that network where former players. It might not even be the player that reaches out for help, because it is really tough to ask for help. I know I've been there myself. It's really tough to ask for help. So it might be a teammate that sees them, your former teammate sees them in trouble and just contacts us. And we aim then to just try and bridge that gap and between just starting talking and trying then to direct them to the expertise help that they need.
I suppose people can have a broad understanding, Jimmy, of like what it's like, depression, alcoholism, all the things that Perry talked about. But the specifics of what you're doing, I guess, is that they've lived that life. They've been a professional footballer. They know what it's like, as our fine documentary series says, when the lights go out, when that adoration isn't there, when that buzz isn't there, when that habit of training and playing and everything goes, it's a different thing, isn't it?
It is. And you listen to Perry talking there, and there's some fantastic help out there. But for actually to go and reach out to like the NHS or the Samaritans is really tough. You've been at the top of your game. You've been, like you say, you've had the adulation of the fans, and you're meant to be this sort. You've got this persona. You're meant to be this. You're an ex-player. You've done all this in the game. How do you then go and admit to someone that you've got a problem that you don't know? And I think we just want to soften that little gap between where they can pick up the phone or just send a message to us or a teammate and just say, look, we've been through it. We know what you're there. Thanks for calling. We appreciate you. Listen, let's try and get the help we need. We'll just talk about it if you need. That's all you need, and we'll go from there. And I think it's just the first step in sort of bridging that gap, for the ex-players. It is really tough. And listen, there's nothing replaces being on that football pitch. I think any ex-player will tell you, just being out on that football pitch, the highs and lows of being with your teammates, and then it all does come to an end. It does. I've been fortunate myself. I stayed in it through coaching, and that's for more or less straight after football. And it's one of those, I'm taking a little back step now to try and get this going and just step away and get my head right sort of things and do the things I've wanted to do for a few years. So it is tough. It's tough. And I don't think there's that many places to turn to. When they do get there, there's some fantastic help on offer. It's just getting there. And even the PFA have been fantastic with me all through my career, and they do a great job. But it's really hard. It's so hard for a player to pick up the phone and speak to a receptionist or whoever their first initial contact is and actually say, I need some help. I don't know any players that will do that.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I was going to ask you this about, Perry saying that his generation kept everything to themselves. Now we live in a different time. You'd imagine younger players, when they come to retire, won't suffer as badly. Will realise that talking helps.
Absolutely, and I think that's the key. That is definitely the key, and the world's got a better place for that. It's a lot easier to talk about things like Perry. Honestly, when I was listening to Perry, I was like, everything I've been thinking for the last few years, really, of trying to do. And he's like, it's For younger players, maybe they will ask for the help a little bit more, and there needs to be a little bit more of a network of help for that.
Yeah.
But for me, the players like, you know, the older generation, like Perry, like myself, lads I've played with and against, are really struggling with everything. And that is the generation that won't talk. They don't talk. I know lads who are really struggling, and the first 3 or 4 times I've asked them, they've gone, no, yeah, great, no, everything's great. And I'm going, well, I know it's not, because one of your mates has told me this. I know you just got divorced. I know you've having financial troubles, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But all the lads will say the same thing, and I'd say the same thing. Yeah, no, all good, great, yeah, all doing well, yeah. And it's a total lie. So it's just bridging that gap somehow.
Well, Jimmy, it's called JW23.org, the 23 Foundation. I've just gone to your website, so I can see all the information. Everything you need to know about it is there. And if there are any ex-players listening to Dan, we know they do, then they can reach out to you through that. So good to talk to you. More power to you on this. Thanks very much.
No, thanks for the invite. It's great to get it out there. And like I said, it's live and it's a work in progress. But if you can start the ball rolling by talking to us, that's what we're there for. Reach out, please.
Excellent. Cheers, Jimmy. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, gents.
Jimmy Walker there, JW23.org, if you want to go and check that out.